Now, I would like to make this clear for anybody that wants to flex cash paper or say they got this, they got that, whatever. This right here is nothing. It's honestly nothing, which is obviously going to bring us to our conversation about the US dollar assets and liabilities, right? So most of us probably know, or if you don't know, the US dollar used to be backed by gold in 1879 by, I think, President Haynes, I'm pretty sure. I'm probably wrong, but you can obviously fact check me on that. When we got to 1933, Roosevelt started detaching the US dollar from the gold standard. We weren't completely detached from the gold standard yet, but the process was being made under Roosevelt, began under Roosevelt. Then by 1971, under President Nixon, that's when we completely detached the US dollar from the gold standard. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why does that matter? The reason why it matters is because the dollar used to be backed by commodity, gold, something that it's real, right? Tangible. But now that you have the US dollar not backed by anything, it gives the right for the Federal Reserve and other banking institutions to print money out of thin air, which creates inflationary environments. What do I mean by this? You see, a lot of people think when things rise up in price, it's normal. It's supposed to be that way. Oh, I cannot pay my bills. I cannot afford this. Listen, it's not normal. It's the people that control certain, institutions behind closed doors that want this to happen so that you can succumb to their new decree of laws, which that's for a different conversation later down the road. But understand this, right? The people that have us under the US dollar, which isn't really backed by anything, they're toying with us. They're playing with us. Because at the end of the day, money is about perception. It's not real. This is not real, but what makes it real is your perception. So each and every single thing they have in this realm, they attach a price tag to it, which you probably think that you need it, but at the same time, you really don't. Because you know why? You have creativity skills. You have creativity skills that you can utilize to create and solve the problem that you have. But now that, they brought money into play or whatsoever, they attach certain things that we, I guess, quote unquote, need in life to a price tag, which makes us want to trade our time for money. But at the same time, if inflationary grows at a rapid pace, right, but your wages stay the same, how are you supposed to make up for your own living? If your wages completely, just take a step back, okay? Take a step back and understand this. If your wages doesn't change, right, but everything keeps on increasing in price, then there has to be a problem. And the problem is your currency is a scam, which means you are losing purchasing power and freedom over time. This matters because there's certain types of avenues that you can counter the attack from the people from above, which is investing into assets. The definition is something you can own that has value or can generate income. Again, commodities, real estate, cryptocurrency, stocks, whatever it is that you can own that can grow value over time is an asset, right? It's also an amplifier. And the reason why I wrote about this is because money is not real. It is not real. And of course, a lot of people might say, yeah, we know this. No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do, because if you actually knew that money wasn't real, your whole perception wouldn't be based off, oh my gosh, I need this. No, it shouldn't be about that. It should be about gaining ownership so that over time, you could probably use those assets as collateral, which gives you tax advantages. What do I mean by this? In my recent video, we went over about cash value life, right? It's a product of an insurance company. Basically, what you would do is you will pay a monthly premium. That premium grows at a fixed rate, depending what insurance company you have the policy with. And when it grows enough, you can borrow against that policy, take a loan against it, right? Which means the cash value will be used as collateral, and the loan that you get, you can use it in whatever means necessary. Obviously, you have to pay it back because you don't want the policy to lapse, but at the same time, the money grows tax deferred and it gets distributed to you tax free, right? Again, tax advantages. It can also, assets in general could also hedge against inflation. Now, the US dollar has been losing its purchasing power for quite some time now, but in 2025, it's honestly getting pretty bad. I know they say that we're in $38 trillion in debt, but we're actually in, I say, over $100 trillion in debt. And the reason why it's over $100 trillion in debt is because they don't want to release that data out to the masses, because once you do that, what do you create? You create chaotic events. They don't want that to happen yet, right? So when you're investing into assets that beat inflation, which means it increases your purchasing power. So a lot of people like to hold cash, or like to hold it in a bank, or like to hold it in a savings account that has a yield of 1%. It's not doing anything. And at the same time, it's cash. The more they print it, the more value gets eroded from it. It is devaluing over time. And what you're doing is you're going to work, you're trading your time for money, but at the same time, you're getting poorer and poorer every single time you go to work because your wages stay the same. And on top of that, if they continue on printing money out of thin air, the value of this US dollar is declining every single time. Every single time. So instead of getting paid, right, from a job or whatsoever, you want to invest into assets that generate income and grow value over time, which will amplify or bring you about more energy, because again, it's about perception. It's about perception. If you have your whole perception about, I guess, cash is king or whatever, that is cool. But at the same time, if you hold cash itself, just by itself, it is getting eroded over time, because again, the people that work at the Federal Reserve and all these other central banks, they're literally just printing it out of thin air because they know it's not real. But what really makes them more powerful is that each time they print money, they go and buy assets, whether it's land, stocks, real estate, properties, whatever that can generate income for them over time. But what do we do as consumers? We get paid. We want to go out to the club. We want to go to the mall. We want to waste it on fast food each and every single day. And that's the main reason why we feel drained. Because not only are they, how would I say this? Not only are they printing money out of thin air, but they're also stripping away our purchasing power. So each and every single time you go waste money on liabilities, which we'll go over in a few minutes, we're being drained. But every time you, invest into an asset, you're actually being amplified. You may not see it now because obviously the non-benefits of owning an asset is delayed gratification, which means you work at something hard over time, but you're not really getting results from it. You're not getting results from it, but on a longer time frame, something will shine for you, but you're just not really getting, instant gratification yet, right? Now, liabilities. something you owe, debt, obligation, and it's something that drains your energy. You know, it honestly, it doesn't make me mad, but sometimes it bothers me that I see people make money and they just go wasted on the dumbest things ever. And I'm not judging anybody, but it just doesn't make sense that you would trade your time, it's probably the most expensive thing in this realm, for some money, which is not even real, and then you want to go waste it on things that actually kill you mentally and physically at the same time. Does not amplify you no other way. That's why I say liabilities drain your energy. But obviously, it depends on what liability you're talking about. If you're borrowing money to build a business or to buy assets by any means, do that, because that actually amplifies you because it's an asset, right? But if you're just wasting money to go buy clothes, to buy this food, to buy like things that basically decreases in value over time because you're not going to use it, and at the same time, if it's only accepted in like US dollars, it's being devalued over time. Well, obviously paying for it because you're paying it in cash. But the benefits of liabilities, obviously you can leverage it with collateral. Again, if you, own an asset, you could borrow against that asset, get a loan. That loan becomes a liability because obviously you got to pay it back, you owe it. And I say instant gratification because, again, depending on what you're willing to use that loan for, meaning you can get the loan and go buy other assets because that's what the rich want to do every single time, right? But then what's also non-benefit is instant gratification and consumerism. I don't even know if that's a word, but it sounded right in my head, so I just put it, right? And consumerism means, well, I'm just making up this definition, but as soon as you get paid, you're just willing to buy something, like whether it's food, clothes, toys, just things that don't really matter, in my opinion, right? And the instant gratification, it's like, you're addicted to something, but you constantly keep on going back to it because it gives you that instant gratification. You want something to happen right now. You want to feel good right now in this very moment, instead of experiencing delayed gratification, which means you work hard at something over time, but you get shot down, right? But you keep going at it because you know that over time it's going to pay off, right? So just to kind of give you like a summary of this whole entire discussion. US dollar, the cash, whatever people like to call it nowadays, it is trash, okay? It is trash. The reason why cash is king is because it's a medium of exchange, meaning I could have boatloads of cash waiting on the sidelines that I can use to go exchange it for an asset because I know it's going to grow over time. But if I'm just holding cash itself to make transactions, I am getting broke over time because it does not grow in value. Each time these people at these central banks, the Federal Reserve, whatever people like to call it, the cabal, whatever, each and every single time they lower interest rates, it should obviously create some type of alarm in your mind, knowing that your purchasing power is getting stripped from you day by day. Because once those interest rates go down, they turn on that printing machine, they lend out that money. Some people go buy it for assets, things that actually matter, and then some people go waste it, which honestly doesn't make sense to me. But understand that this money is not real, okay? The reason why it's real is because of your perception. Each and every single thing that makes us comfortable in life, they've added a price tag to it, so it kind of triggers you psychologically, thinking that you need it, but at the same time you don't. Because at the same time, you are a creator on this realm. Whatever you need, you can manifest it. And obviously it might sound crazy, but as within, so is without. As above, so is below. You can create whatever you want within you and make it come to real life, but you gotta believe and you gotta work on yourself, okay? Again, this is not real. This is not real, right? The reason why a lot of people like to hold on to cash, because again, they could leave it on the sidelines and use that money to invest into other assets. Assets now is a different ballpark, right? Again, it's something you own that has value or can generate income over time. So what you should really do is use this, put it into this, so it can grow over time. But best believe you are going to be experiencing delayed gratification, because don't expect to get rich overnight. It's a long-term game. I don't care what you are invested in. It is a long-term game. If someone says they can give you this much money a certain amount of time, they're wrong. They're lying to you. They're just trying to sell it to you. You cannot get rich overnight. It's completely impossible. It's completely impossible unless you want to involve yourself in some type of mafia, drug and business. Hey, by any means, go ahead. Like, that's your life. But it can also be used as collateral. Like I explained to you with the insurance product, CVL. Don't let that go over your head now. If you pay a monthly premium, that premium grows over time, and you could borrow against it, so the CVL will become collateral. Now when you have that loan, whatever you need it for, go spend it, go use it. But just know that money in that CVL versus the loan, do not let that loan exceed the amount that you have in the CVL, because once it happens, you can go lapse, the policy will go lapse, and you'll be obligated to pay the insurance company back, right? And you could also make more financial decisions. Like, what's so wrong with living below your means, doing the research on certain things that can help you become free in this demonic realm, and just riding out the wave? Like, why are we so prone to instant gratification, to consumerism, to something that basically drains our energy over time? Because that's what liabilities are. Like, this is already bad itself, but that wanting to invest into liabilities because we want to feel good, because we're hungry, because you want to look cool. Think, use your mind. At the same time, I'm with you. I'm just like you. I'm not better than you, but I just wanted to share this information with you because we're at the point where people in our generation can't even afford homes, maybe pay off rent whatsoever. And it's not your fault. It is not your fault. The reason why it's not your fault is because there's a secret group of people that use this, that weaponize this to control us. They do it because they know that the average person doesn't have no knowledge about what's actually going on beneath or beyond the veil. And that's a fact, we don't. That's why we continue on trading our time for money while they literally print this out of thin air, go buy up all the assets to themselves, so they continuously get richer over time, and then we just get poorer and poorer because that's the whole scheme of the game, right? But I'll tell you this, they don't want you to own assets, because once you start owning assets, it's game over for them. Once we understand as a community that the US dollar is not real, that it's fake, that its only good use is to exchange it for things that grow over time, which are assets, then we'll be FUCKED until then. And that's a fact. And again, I'm sharing this information with you because in my previous video, I told you guys that I want people to be asset junkies instead of liability junkies, because I promise you, the delayed gratification might suck, but on a longer time frame, you feel so good. But then the instant gratification, it makes you feel good for 1 to 2 to 3 seconds, then it's gone. What do you go do? You go back again, thinking that it's gonna satisfy your needs, but it's not. It's just breaking you down slowly and slowly and slowly. So, as as we conclude this video or whatever, I'm gonna say it again. I probably said it multiple times already, but it matters. It matters. Cash paper sucks. It's trash. Either get rid of it by getting rid of it, buy assets, obviously do your research, do your homework on the asset that you're investing in, sit back, let it grow. Sometimes it might crash, but depending on you understanding the vision of that asset will depend on how long you actually stay in it, right? Try to limit liabilities. Please try to limit liabilities. If you have no food to eat, okay. But if you can thug it out, maybe for a night or two, maybe eat some ramen noodles, whatsoever, then do that. When it comes to like designer clothes and shoes, bro, if you have a shirt that you can wear that shirt. If you got pants, wear that pants. If you got sneakers, I don't care if they are beat up, wear those sneakers. As long as you're covering your chest, your private area, your toes, or your legs, whatever, just keep it covered. If you get your hair done once in a while, get your hair done, right? But just going out, just trying to show out in front of people, because thinking that they're gonna care or they're gonna look you at some type of way, like it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If you're somebody that has boatloads of cash and you already own assets, cool, fine. If you like enjoy your life, go travel, whatsoever. But if you're an average norm being that's just getting into the world right now or just trying to figure out life itself, understand, we've been scammed since 1879. Well, I'll say 1933, 1971. We've been scammed for that long. This is not real. It's no longer sustainable, right? So, best thing that you guys can do is literally buy assets. Simple as that. Simple as that. Because I would obviously want to tell you guys to get insurance as well. But even insurance itself is not even going to help you along this journey. And I'm a person that's trying to, well, right now I'm trying to educate you guys about insurance, and maybe later down the road, you guys work with me, because I know you guys will definitely use products. But even insurance itself is not even a great investment right now, because for as long as the US dollar is tied to an insurance policy, yeah, you can reap all those benefits from the life insurance company. By that time you reap all those benefits, you're probably going to be priced out, which means inflation is going to be so high, by the time you even use the money, you won't even have enough to contribute to whatever that money is for. So that is all I have for you guys today. The next vid will be going over about how, what's it called? The currency applies to insurance, but we're also going to talk about a different asset class. We're not going to go too deep into it, but we're just going to break down, maybe a few basics, just kind of, putting it out in the ether, because that's what we're moving into. There's a reason why we like to use Apple Pay or digital payments, because we are moving into a digital system. Do your homework.